When I'm losing somebody, I'm losing them. It's okay. Because here's the thing. I don't want you to spend the next years or so thinking, oh, they're going to come back, or they're going to come back. I don't want you to get too attached on that idea, right? The idea that they're coming back is something that just has to, it exists, but it doesn't have to be fulfilled, right? So don't get too caught up and held onto the idea that they have to come back and that they will come back at some point. It's just if. It's just an if thing. And the thing is, you got to be in very low resistance to the fact that they got to be here now. That's something for the future to decide. And the future can change based off of various fucking things that you do, based on certain actions and wherever you go. And wherever this person does and whatever they do determines where they go. And whether that determines whether you guys meet up, it's just too many outcomes in order for it. So you got to just allow whatever to happen, right? This person is going away, and I'm going to be where I'm at. I'm going to allow them to pursue whatever route is best for them, because whatever route that person's pursuing is playing out into them being the strongest version of themselves. And I have to be allowing and supportive of that, because for me to be resistant and against that is to hold them back from the truth of who they are and becoming the person that they came here to be, or the person that they ideally want to end up being. Yes? So for me to be in resistance, for me to be against that idea, for me to want to push that away and get rid of it and all that type of bullshit, right? For me to want to do that is to hinder them, is to put them on that leash, is to put the chains on their feet, is to do all kinds of shit to them, is to restrict them from becoming the strongest version of themselves. Let me tell you something. Think about this, okay? You let this bird fly and go experience what it has to, and it becomes a stronger version of itself. If you guys are meant to meet later in life, imagine how much better and more awesome they're gonna be when they come back around after doing what they did, after they went and traveled the world, after they went and got their education, after they went and did all the things that they had to do and experienced what they did. Imagine, like, you think they're amazing now, watch how awesome they are when they get back to you. If they do, right? Or just watch how amazing they are just for their own purpose. Listen, if you really love somebody, man, it's not so much that you'll let them go and then hope that they'll come back. You're not hoping for them to come back. You're not trying to latch on and then wait years and years and years on then for the idea that they'll come back. You don't want to do that. Nobody's worth waiting for that long. I don't care how much you love them. But what is worth is supporting them in pursuing the path that they are having to do or choosing to do. Me, as a film person, whoever's with me is going to have to understand, I may not be in Slidell forever. I may have to go to other places at certain points. I may have to expand where I go, right? Can't be here forever, you know? Or whoever I'm with. I got tons of friends. I got a good bit of friends going to college right now, hours away from me. Some closer, some farther. You know, it's just a reality that I gotta face, and understand that, hey, you know, if this person must do this, it is upon their calling. This is what they've chosen. I respect and love this person enough to realize that if they're dead serious about this, then I'm gonna let them do it. Because for the better of them and what their journey requires of them and what they want, I'm 100% with you, brother. You go and fly. You go and do your thing. You go and do everything that you wanted to do with your time. This is really what means something to you, then I want to see you go and crush it like you've never crushed anything in your life before. This really means something to you, I want to see you go out there and do it like you've never done it before. I want to see you go where you're going to go, and I want you to get what you wanted and more. Because for the better of you, I want to see you grow. This ain't about me. This ain't about me This ain't about me wanting you to come. This is nothing about me. This is about me supporting your calling. And if you want to become the strongest version of yourself, then go ahead. I want to see my motherfuckers fly free. I want to see my friends, I want to see them do their thing. My close and dearest, I want to see them fly and do amazing. I want to see them fulfill the truths of themselves. And if this is one thing in their life, I may not be fully agreed with it. I may not be fully understanding of it, but I can definitely support and understand at some point what they're choosing right now plays out, and it goes even further and further. And it's going to play out into them becoming the strongest version of themselves. And if we are meant to come back to the same place years or decades later, then it will happen. Because you can't separate two souls that are meant to be together for life. You can't separate two souls that came on this planet to be together as whatever. You can't separate it. No matter what you do. No matter what barriers you put on somebody. No matter what restrictions. No matter what distance. No matter what. In this life, in every life, two souls that are part of the same family. Two souls that are part of each other. That are meant to come back together. Right, that are meant to be together in the life. They will do it this life and every life after. You cannot put barriers on it. But don't get too attached to the idea that it should happen. Don't think, oh, it should. It's meant to. You don't know that. I've had girls down the street that I've had great feelings for, just around the block. They move, 3 years, they move time later. Soon enough, you're not even thinking about it. But then you also have women or guys, and there's people that in your life where they move and it hurts for a while. You guys stay in touch, but eventually you lose or whatever. But it's the moment that they come back, everything just sparks up again. And it's like, holy shit. Don't get to it. There's no reason to get attached to the idea that they will come back. But if they're going to, they will. They will. But what I want you to take away is that if they're meant to, they will come back. But don't get attached to that idea. And whatever their journey requires of them, it is more important that you support them in flying all the way to the other half of the world to do their business and become the strongest version of themselves than it is for you to latch and put fucking weights on their ankles and tie them up to your house so that they never go. So that way you keep them to yourself. It is more important you let someone fly and become the person they're meant to be rather than latching on and living in the past forever and never moving forward. Both of you guys are meant to move forward. And it's beautiful because if you both move forward on separate paths, somehow you meet up again. If you're meant to. But when you lose this person and they go off, here's the best advice I could really give you on this. When they're gone, they are no longer your now. You may text them, you may call them. But that is not your now. That is not the person you are spending. Once they're gone and they're far and you're losing touch, they are not your now anymore. That is not your current reality. At one point it was, and at one point it may be again. But right now is what I need you to focus on. They are going to become the strongest version of themselves. They got to live in their now. They got to fly in their sky. I want you to ground yourself in your earth. Fly in your sky. And do your thing and develop. Explore your world. Find what there is to learn. Become amazing at it. And keep doing what you got to do. Become the strongest version of yourself while they go and be the strongest version of themselves. Supporting doesn't mean you're always going to be there. Supporting somebody in love, supporting somebody in who they're going to be, supporting somebody doesn't always mean that you're going to be right by their side. Sometimes supporting them means letting them go. Sometimes supporting them means letting them go off and fly. Sometimes supporting them means you guys got to break off. Sometimes supporting them in their journey doesn't mean always being there every single second of the day. Doesn't mean picking up every single phone call. Sometimes be supporting them in the strongest version of themselves is to let them go. Is to let them walk down that road. Is to let them experience what they want to experience. Sometimes that is the most powerful thing you can do for somebody as far as supporting somebody. It doesn't mean you're always going to be there. Sometimes letting them go off on their own is the choice that you have to make. Right? Because there's either two people grind together and build the kingdom together, but sometimes it's not always about grinding together and building the kingdom together. Sometimes you guys got to split off. You build your own kingdoms. You meet off later in life, guess what? You merge them kingdoms together. And you already on top of them bitches. But focus on your now if you want that future. Focus on now. Sometimes the best thing you can do now is to allow them to go. And the best thing you can do in this now, when they do go, in this present moment, in this current year, in this current decade, that you can do for yourself right now, is to focus on you. Is to go and experience. If other people come down the line that take the place of this other person, allow it. Because it'll help you. This is the person that's meant to be in your life. As of now. Whether they come back is a completely... It's a predetermined thing that you don't know if it's going down or not. That completely depends on the choices of you guys. And it's nothing you can force. There's a fucking wasp. Or whatever it was. There's nothing you can force. So you've got to be willing to let that happen. What time am I at? Really far. My videos always end up long and I don't like that. I'm sorry for that, guys. But listen. I'm going to end it real quick. This is going to be it. Focus on your now when they're gone. Don't get caught on what was. It's good to reminisce on the past, but don't live in it. It's good to think about the future, but don't expect it. Be fully immersed in your now. Develop in your now. Kill it in the now. Build your kingdom in the now. Build your identity in the now. Have intimacy in the now. Create in the now. And the future will manifest itself. And the past will be drawn from and it'll be its own story that brought you to here. But right here is all you got. So focus on that. This is all you have. You don't have the years before that anymore. They're done. And you don't have the years ahead. Because the years ahead, if you live for the future, you will never take a step forward because you're thinking about something, but you haven't made a step to it. And here's the problem. When your expectation lives based off of the future, you never truly develop what has to be done in the now. Everything you're doing is reliant on one outcome. One very small specific outcome out of 14,700,000 and something outcomes for one event. You're reliant on one. It won't work out that way. You need to be focused in your now. That's all I gotta say. Done.